Possession of nitrous oxide, also known as laughing gas, with the intent to get high, becomes illegal in England and Wales today, with repeat offenders facing up to 2 years in prison.
Well, campaigner Kerry-Anne Donaldson once took up to 600 canisters a week and now has to use a wheelchair because of the damage it caused. Kerry-Anne welcomes the news of the change in the law, but fears that on its own, it won't be enough to stop people accessing the drug. And alongside her is neurological consultant, Dr. David Nicholl. Good morning to you both. Kerry-Anne, I mean, the addiction spiralled out of control, didn't it? Just tell us how you got started. What was the initial impact of using nitrous oxide?
It was more of when I was at parties, when I was 18, and it was just a bit of fun. No one really knew the harms it could cause, or it was just, yeah, a little bit of fun at a party.
How many years ago is that, when you were 18?
8 years ago.
8 years ago, right. And you are still suffering the damage 8 years on?
Yeah, because I actually did stop using them when I was 21, but ended up starting again when I was 22.
Right.
And then stopped again when I was 23, but by that 22 and 23 was when I was doing them excessively. 600
canisters a week. And when we talk about canisters, are we talking about these little silver kind of bullet sort of things?
Is the nickname.
Yeah. What's it called?
Whippets.
Whippet. Right, this is an empty one, just to point out, but people see these everywhere. I mean, where I am in South London, they're littered across the pavements.
They're not as common now since the more bigger ones have come around.
Yeah, my goodness. And again, Ed's holding an empty one in his hand now. So, and how do you get hold of them, Kerry-Anne? I mean, just for any parent out there who's watching, you know, what does it? Why are teenagers using them? How do they get hold of them? How do you use it?
I think online it's very easy to get hold of, and plus, I think people use them because they don't see the harms and they don't know the damages it could cause, and it seems like something that's fairly light.
How does it make you feel when you inhale one? I presume
you get like a head rush for like 5 seconds. And I think that's why people do it as well, and do so much, because they're constantly trying to chase that head rush.
And it went from, as you said, when you were 18, at a party on a Saturday night, to, by the time you were really addicted, I mean, it was a few an hour. I mean, if you're thinking of 600 over a week, how did that change? Did it become something which you just needed in every aspect of your life?
I think it changed because I was trying to chase that 30-second head rush that I got the first time, not realising that I'm already causing myself damage, and the head rush is already there, I just can't feel it.
Dr. David Nicholl, you're a chief neurological consultant. So how often do you see someone like Kerry-Anne where this kind of addiction and dependency has caused damage enough that when you are moving around, you have to use a wheelchair?
Way too often, and I cannot thank Kerry-Anne enough for talking about this, because I've never known a subject so difficult to get people to talk about it. Almost feels like the early days of, you know, HIV/AIDS epidemic, you know, because essentially users are being conned. You know, they think this is just, you know, a bit of fun, and then their world has been turned over when they turn up in A&E, unable to walk. And, you know, I've got a teenager on the ward at the moment in just this sort of situation.
What is it about? Because, of course, I've used NOS, as it's known, nitrous oxide, laughing gas, because I've had children.
Yeah.
So I've been in a situation where I've used this for pain relief.
That's different.
Of course it's different.
Yeah.
But what is different about it? Because I wonder whether it's part of the reason that people think it's not a problem.
Part of it, I think, is actually language. I loathe the term laughing gas because that trivialises the issue. I think nitrous oxide is the correct, you know, name, and that's what we should be calling it.
Yeah.
That's not very good from a marketing point of view. What you used in childbirth was Entonox, and that's 50% oxygen, 50% nitrous oxide, and that's being supervised by doctors and anaesthetists and midwives who are trained in dose. And users haven't got a clue about dose. So these little small ones, the whippets you're seeing, honestly, they are so 2022, OK? Everyone's moved on to the bigger cylinders. So the Smart Whips you had there, that's 75 times the dose.
And are these larger canisters, are they then used to fill up balloons?
Correct.
Yeah, and so what kind of dose of nitrous oxide are people getting then?
Well, that's around about 600 grams.
That feels like quite a big dose.
Well, there's also a 3.9 kilogram cylinder, which is over 500 times the dose. And I think what's changed is, people have been using laughing gas since the time of, Joseph Priestley in the 18th century. But what's changed post-pandemic is that, it's really got out of hand, and social media is driving a lot of this.
So we now have a ban. Because of course this is used in catering to make whipped cream. But if you have it, possess it, in order to get high, you now face a fine, 2 years in prison. Kerry-Anne, would that have stopped you using it?
No.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's not good news for the government, is it?
It would have just made me be more sneaky about it.
What do you mean, be more sneaky about it?
Hide it, because you see people using it on the street and stuff. But then I just wouldn't use it on the street. I would hide it.
The other issue I expect you're worried about is it might stop people going for help.
Yeah, because they're going to be scared to go to the hospital and being honest with the hospital, because they'll be scared to get in trouble.
So what would have stopped you?
Maybe, I think what stopped me is having to go through what I've had to go through, unfortunately.
So if you had known you would end up so physically damaged, that would have changed what you'd have done?
I don't think it would have changed it. I think I had to go through this in order for me to stop.
Right.
But Dr. Nichol, we don't want people going through what we don't want Kerry-Anne to have gone through what she's gone
absolutely.
through.
And in fact, sadly, I've seen readmissions. So I've seen people who've been in hospital because of nitrous oxide. And we've gone through all this conversation, and then they've ended up coming in a year later with the same problem.
Do you support the ban?
I loathe this stuff. I absolutely loathe it. I'm not sure it's going to make a difference, OK? The focus should be on the supply chain. I give the list of names and addresses of... There's a franchise of shops, which I'm not going to name, in Birmingham to West Midlands Police a year ago. I drove past one of those shops last week. So there's a lot of people making a lot of money out of this.
But if we're going to... if you take cannabis, we say it's illegal to possess, and we use the fact it's prohibited to then go after the suppliers. Don't we have to do the same here with laughing gas? You've got to say that to be taking it for a high is wrong in order we can then go after the suppliers.
Absolutely, we should go after the suppliers. But I've given the names and addresses of the suppliers, and if you're doubling the sentence for supply, twice nothing is still nothing.
Right.
And
you can buy it for catering purposes today online.
Absolutely, and some of the stuff is completely crazy. OK, I mean, there's a website I know of which, for £8,000, OK, they'll sell you a pallet load of that stuff, pallet load, OK, with a discount on, encrypted currency and things like that, YouTube videos on how to use it. Completely bonkers. So go after the users. The only exception I would say is
go after the suppliers.
But people who drive and balloon, you deserve to go to jail.
And can Kerry-Anne get better? Will her symptoms improve?
That's a good question, really good question. And actually, we're doing a study on this with colleagues in Nottingham and elsewhere to answer that. And it's going to be interesting what happens with recruitment for that study, given, how willing will people be to speak to healthcare professionals or download an app to get an idea of their disability.
And you think that might be jeopardised because of the new law?
Maybe.
Kerry-Anne, what would you say to anyone who's currently using?
I would say it's not worth it. Your health is more important. And if you ain't going to listen to that, then at least educate yourself and get to know what you're putting inside your body.
Thank you so much for coming in. It's so important that you speak out about it. And, good luck with your recovery.
Thank you.
Yeah, really, really good luck. Thank you both so much.